Good afternoon. We're going to go ahead and get started. I know that some of you are eating, so I'm just going to kind of interact with you for a little bit until we go ahead and finish this. First, does everyone have their cell phones on silent or vibrate? It's okay. Go ahead and check. I'd rather you, if you're not sure, I'd rather you check than have it go off. Okay, so the second question, did everyone write down 2 or 3 things that differentiate your company from its closest competitors? Is there anyone, besides Krista, we're going to have someone else joining us, I guess, too. Is there anyone who did not have time to do that? No? Okay, excellent. So one of the things that I want to let you know about this event, if you get 1 or 2 things from this event, and I said this last time, that will be good. Then you will have learned something here. You're not going to remember all 55 minutes of it. You've got notes, but unless you really study, and I'm not a professor, unless you really study them, you're not going to get all 50 minutes. So try and take 1 or 2 things out of this that will help you moving forward. This event is the second part in our series. The first one, most of you were here for our first one. Eric, I will need you to partner up right here, by the way. So for those of you who were here with the first one, it was about event networking. And there's various networking events, YMBL, things like that you would go to expand your network base. What we're going to talk about now is expanding your business. This is the core of networking. This is where you want to be, right here, expanding your business through networking, right? Now, I was saying earlier that there is a relationship between the amount of time you put into networking and the amount of money you make. And typically, we're in sales, right? Is there anyone in here who is not in a sales-based position? Anyone in here who is not in sales? Okay, sales, yeah, you're marketing. And what is it you do again?
Well, I do consulting, but I got to sell my own service.
Yeah, you're selling your service, you're selling yourself. Exactly, you're in sales. So everybody in here is in some form of sales. So, man, I completely lost my train of thought there. Sorry about that. I got started on your thing. So whenever you are listening to this event, just try and get 1 or 2 things. We'll end with that, okay? Now, this is going to be extremely interactive. Does anyone have a problem interacting with me? Anyone? I know you're a little bit on the shy side. Yeah. Anyone have a problem interacting? No one? Good. So let's test out that interaction then. And I want to hear from all of you who were here last time. By show of hands, the people who were here last time, did you go to any networking events this week? Yeah? Did you learn anything? Or did you use anything that helped you in that event? Sort of? Anything? Okay. Does anyone want to share? You don't have to. I'm not going to put you in a corner if you don't. Does anyone want to share what something, maybe a little tidbit, helped them at that event? Okay. Now, you agreed to be interactive with me, remember? So, let's try 1. Okay.
I went to it's actually an art show,
Mm-hmm.
but I made it a networking opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of thing. And form really helped me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And form, family, occupation, recreation. Did you get into the money, or did you go more market, movies, music?
Movies, market.
Yeah.
Patients that we started with, we wanted to find out if they were an artist or if they were a purchaser. I was kind of curious. So I was there with an artist, so
Very good.
I wanted to lead them to her family somehow, one way or another.
So for those of you who weren't here last time, there's just a few of you, so I'm going to skim through this. FORM, F-O-R-M. It's an acronym. You don't want to go in this order, but it's just easier to remember. F is family, O is occupation, R is recreation, M is supposedly money, but I don't really use money. And what FORM is for is if you're talking to somebody and you're not exactly sure how to approach them, use FORM. What brings you here? What do you do for a living? Who, what, where, when, how about what you do for a living. They love to talk about themselves. Family, do you have any kids? Who, what, where, when, how? Do you have any kids? Recreation. Who doesn't like to talk about what they do for fun? Who, what, where, when, how about their recreation? And you can really turn a 2-minute drag-through conversation into 10 minutes and make a relationship. So FORM, F-O-R-M. I don't recommend starting with the family. Start with the occupation. So you did get something. That's very good. I'm glad that you got something out of the event. I appreciate that. So this event is to grow your business, as I said earlier. Now, the event is going to be something like at a restaurant, maybe at a bar, maybe at a coffee shop. And the tables will typically be arranged in a circle. There might be one big table. Typically, they'll be arranged in a circle or a square where there'll be some central focus of energy. Everyone will be looking kind of towards the center. I have seen events, although only one of them, where there was a table and they'd have people here and a table and they had people here and a table, they had people here. But typically, everyone kind of all centers together. And it's going to be, like I said, at a bar or restaurant. And when you walk in about 15 minutes before the event, 20 minutes before the event, there are going to be a lot of business owners, much like yourself here, business owners, salespeople, and they're going to be networking. They're going to be, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you since last week. What you been up to? This is the part of the meeting where you want to get in. You want to be there early enough to get in on the networking prior to the group. If the group starts at 11:30 and you get there at 11:30, you're late. You missed out the networking. All you're going to do is be able to maybe talk to the person next to you or maybe someone after the meeting. Get there early, make a couple connections. You can follow up with them after the meeting, and you might even be able to make some more connections after the meeting. Different kinds of groups. There are structured groups. Has anyone in here ever heard of BNI? Business Networking International? Okay, that's a very structured group. There are also unstructured groups. For example, the Rotary Club. Anyone know what the Rotary Club is? The Rotary Club, yeah, they have their minutes and they have their things they do, but it's not a forced leads group. If you're in the Rotary Club and I don't give you a lead or referral, they're not going to kick me out. If you're in BNI and they don't give a lead or referral, or BNI is just one that I'm using, you will get kicked out. They'll come to you after 3 months and they'll say, listen, Tabitha, are you getting anything out of this group? Yeah? Okay, well, we're noticing that you're not giving anything to the group. Is there any way in the next 3 months you could try and do better with that? And if you don't, you're gone. They'll kick you out, okay? Forced leads groups are good. We'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about the non-structured groups. The third kind of group is probably the best way to form relationships, but not the best way to grow your business, although it is a good use of your time. And that is a philanthropic group. I was on the board of directors for the Humane Society for 2 years. That was great for my business because the vice president of Wells Fargo, and I don't mean a branch vice president, I mean the regional vice president of Texas operations, was in that group. So yeah, that was a pretty good connection there. The financial VP for Dell, she retired, a millionaire. That's probably a pretty good connection. She was in that group too. So if you join something that you enjoy, maybe it's a garden club, maybe it's a sushi club, maybe it's a fishing club. I know a guy in Austin, he goes fishing every month with some buddies. Now, sometimes they'll go to the coast, sometimes they'll go up to Texarkana. Hunting groups, Ducks Unlimited. Those can all be networking associations. Habitat for Humanity. If you're sitting there nailing in some nails into a frame and you happen to be there with, I don't know, the vice president or the CEO of AMD, you're going to get to talk to him quite a bit. So philanthropic endeavors can be good, but they're going to take a lot longer, okay? So any questions on the three types of groups? Any questions on anything I've said so far? Man, I said this last time, but I really mean it. You guys are easy. Whenever I speak at Texas State University, it's just, yes, we got tons of questions. So things to do. We covered some of these last time. Some of them we're going to cover again. Smile. Nobody likes to talk to a grouch, right? You are networking. This is not net fun. This is not net boring. This is not net looking at your cell phone. It's networking. And in order to work, you need to put on a smile. Nobody wants to talk to a grouch. If you come in and you are grouchy as anything and you just look like you're just about to kick Mike Tyson's butt, nobody's going to come talk to you. You will reap what you sow. Smile, okay? Nobody likes to talk to a grouch. The other thing is, if you do have a name tag, try and wear it on your right shoulder. That's just something that I do. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about being late. You're okay. There's some food over there. Go ahead and grab some food. I wear my name tag on my right side. This is just something I do so that when I shake someone's hand, it's in plain sight. And I don't wear it here. I don't wear it here. It's on my right side. Another thing, get there early. I mentioned this earlier. Get there early. That's huge. If you get there early, you're going to meet the leadership of that group, the people who put on that group. They're going to be able to introduce you to who you want to meet. You know, I can't think. So let's just say that I wanted to meet an electrician. If I got there early and you happen to be the organizer of the group, it's an easy question. Do you have any electricians in the group? Yeah, actually, Dale's coming in a little bit later. You want me to introduce you to Dale? Bingo, you made a connection. He made it for you, so you've already got credibility. That's easy. And how'd you do that? You got there early, right? Get there early. If you get there on time, you are late. The whole point of networking is to get there early. Here's a couple of things not to do. And there's a story behind this one, and then we're going to get interactive again, okay? So stay with me for a little bit. One of the nicest guys I know, I'm going to try not to mention any names because I see this guy every week. He is one of the nicest guys I know. He's very trustworthy. Everybody likes this guy. He has not ever gotten a single lead out of the #1 performing B&I group in the state. We give about 60 referrals a week. He has never gotten a single one, and I'm going to tell you why. Can anybody tell me what I said last time? Never, ever, ever, never, never do. Sell to the group. That's one thing. Yes, that's another thing. Very good. Sell to the group. Never, ever. If you don't remember anything about what I say today, remember this. Don't sell to the group. They're going to see you every week. If they want you, they're going to talk to you. They know who you are. They trust you. If they want your service, none of you came in here today going, that T-Mobile guy's going to be there today. Yes, I can finally get my BlackBerry. None of you came in. Is there anybody holding up, oh, yeah, here it is, here's my money. Nobody came here today to do that. You came here to learn how to grow your business. So if I come up to you and I try and sell you, you're going to feel like you got to wash your hands afterwards. Like, oh my gosh, that was just like terrible. Don't sell to the group, okay? Now here's the story. This guy, he is none of you guys will know him. He is a pastor here in town. Pretty trustworthy guy, right? Wouldn't you say so, pastor? He tries to sell to the group every week, and he has never gotten a single referral out of the #1 performing group in the state. And he says to me the other day, how can I make this better? And I asked him to come here today. Said, please come sit in on us and try and learn. He's not here. He's going to keep doing that behavior. It's difficult to go up to someone and say, listen, Gloria, I've got a real problem. I feel like I got a shower after I get done talking with you because you're just pressuring me so hard. It's hard to say that to somebody, right? So, yeah, exactly. Make me cry. Yeah. So don't sell to the group, okay? Does everybody understand that concept? If you don't understand that concept, you're going to miss my entire speech today. Does everybody understand? Awesome. So I'm going to give a little math behind selling to the group. Don't worry if you can't see me when I'm writing. I'm not a professor, so my writing is brutal. Don't worry if you can't see it. I'll be moving out of the way several times. Let's say that you have 20 members in your group, okay? 20 members. Everybody picture that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 6. So around this many people in your group. You meet with these guys at lunch every Thursday, every Wednesday, okay? You meet with these guys at lunch. Now, let's say that you have a 50% closing ratio. Let's just say, does anybody in here close more than 50% of business? Very good. Let's say that you do have 50%. So 50% is a stretch for most of us in here, right? If you have a 50% closing ratio and you sell to that group, you might close 10 of them that year. That's not bad. That's 1 every 6 months. All you're doing is eating lunch. That's okay, actually. That's really not that bad. Here's the problem. Next year, you've got to go to another group, and you've got to find another 20 people. And if any one of these 10 people that you alienated, because the 10 people that you sold, you also did not sell 10 people. You have alienated them so bad that if they see you coming, they're not even going to want to talk to you because they know what you're doing. This guy's trying to sell me a cell phone. Every time he sees me, oh, please, I have a cell phone. So here is the way to get into the group. Let's say, nice round number. Let's say that each one of them knows 25 people, okay? I guarantee you've got more than 25 contacts in your phone. Guarantee. Everybody in here, unless you got your phone today, you've got more than 25 contacts in your phone. So this is really an underestimation, okay? Let's say that you know 25 people. 20 members know 25 people. All right, quick. How many is this? Come on. You agreed to interact with me. Come on. How many is this? 500. Very good. This is 500 people that they know. If you bring business to the group and help the group, this is the number of people you're going to have access to. If your boss says to you, you've got a territory of 10 or you've got a territory of 20, go get after it, you might be like, ooh, gosh, I better be making a lot of money, territory of 20. If you got a territory of 500, that's a lot better, isn't it? You've got 500 people that you can possibly sell to. This makes a lot more sense. Let's say that over the 2 years you're in that group, or 3 years you're in that group, you close 50% of those. How many people would rather close 250 accounts over 3 years than 10 accounts over 1 year? My hands up, yeah, that's what I want. I'm into that. So that is just a little mathematics between why you don't want to sell to the group. You haven't alienated any of these people. You've helped them out. And I'm going to show you. We're going to tie this in. I'm going to show you how to help them out. But first, I need you to understand this concept. The way that you're going to do this, the way that you're going to get to these guys is by paying it forward. Has anybody seen the movie Paying It Forward? Anybody who has not seen the movie Paying It Forward? Has not seen the movie? Okay. In Pay It Forward, this kid has to do 3 things, and if he does these 3 good things, they will eventually come and reciprocate around, and that's the basis for the whole movie. Okay? And they eventually do. They reciprocate around. So I'll tell you something. I have done this wrong. I have done this, and that's how I know not to do it. For those of you who were here for the first meeting, you remember the baloney boss, right? The guy who wanted to hit people with baloney. So he told me, go network. He didn't tell me how to network. The guy just said, go network. Okay, sure. So I walked into the room thinking, yes, everybody came here to buy my stuff. This is awesome. How easy can this be? They're all 10 of them here to buy what I have. Nobody wanted what I had, and I didn't get it. So for 3 months, I was really just spinning my wheels, just spinning. I went home, I was sick. I don't remember if I was sick or my wife was sick or something. I went home, and I watched the movie Pay It Forward. Now, I personally didn't like the movie, okay? But I'm an optimist. 95% of everything is your attitude. So I'm sitting there on the couch thinking, how can the last 2 hours of my life not have been a waste? And the reason they weren't a waste is because I learned how to pay it forward in my business. So I just started to think, I make a lot more cold calls. I have a lot more contacts than any of those 20 people. I know more people than probably all of them combined with all of the prospecting that I have to do to grow my business. So if I start paying attention and thinking, well, you know what, Rick is moving, maybe I could give the mover a lead. Yeah, Rick's moving. They said they were moving. And so-and-so is having real problems with their phone system. You know what, there's a phone system guy in my group. I could probably pass that lead forward. Once you get the concept of paying it forward down, the people in the group, these people who have access to these people are going to be coming to you. I know because it happens every time I go into a group, and I'm a member of multiple of them. They will come to you and go, how can I get on your leads list? You give so many leads out to this group. What do I have to do to get to know you? It will happen, trust me. So the pay it forward concept is extremely important, as is do not sell to the group. Now what we're going to do is a little exercise. We're going to start off with the intro. Now this is where you get people to stop their mental Rolodex. Everybody has a mental Rolodex. You have a mental Rolodex. You have a mental. I guarantee you have a mental Rolodex. I know you do. You've been doing this a while. So you have a mental Rolodex of who do I know? Who do I know? Who do I know? When you stand up, just about every group. There's only been one group I've ever been to that does not do this. When you stand up in front of the group, everybody will get about 30 to 60 seconds to say a little bit about what they do. What's your name? Who's your company? What are your differentiators? Right? Everybody wrote those down. And then what referral are you looking for? Okay? Everybody's going to have a little bit of time to do that. If you get up there and you say, I need to know someone who has money. I need to know someone with money. I don't have any money. There's no customers coming in. That mental Rolodex, I don't know anybody with money. I'm sorry, I don't know. If I was to stand up and say, hey, I'm Steve from T-Mobile. The referral that I'm looking for this week is someone with a cell phone. If you know someone with a cell phone, please send them. I mean, come on, for real, seriously. You've got to be more specific than that. You've got to stop their mental Rolodex. Now, what if I was to say, I need to know someone with an outside sales force, a mobile sales force, people that sell outside and they're road warriors. Most of you in here are going to know someone like that. You know a salesman, or you are approached by salesmen. They come into your office trying to sell office supplies or marketing materials. Everybody in here knows a salesperson, right? We're everywhere. So if you make their mental Rolodex stop, then they can write down a referral for you. Here's how not to make their mental Rolodex stop. Someone, anyone, everyone, somebody, anybody, everybody. If you use those words incorrectly, you will, hey, I need to know someone with money. I don't know anybody with money, whatever. They're going to stop paying attention to you because they don't know anybody with money. You have to be specific. I need to know a business banker, someone who can lend me some money. Do you know someone like that? No, you don't know someone like that? Who in here knows a business banker? So I could have gotten 4 referrals if I just said, I don't need anybody with money. I need someone to lend me a business loan. Can anyone refer to me a good business banker? And then all of a sudden, here come the referrals. Does anybody have any questions about being specific? We're going to get way more specific, but does anybody have any questions at this point? Okay, very good. So the first thing, you're going to need to brand yourself. Now, I know a guy who brands himself real well. He's Tall Paul Morgan. He's loud. He's obnoxious. He's, hey, I'm Tall Paul. I'm here. Yeah, party star. And he is literally like that. Guy's 6'4", and he's extremely loud and obnoxious. But people know him because he has branded himself so well. So you're going to need to brand yourself in a professional way. What I do, and this is just my personal preference, every time I introduce myself, hi, I'm Steve with T-Mobile. Hey, I'm Steve with T-Mobile. Nice to meet you. And eventually, people don't even know my last name. That's Steve T-Mobile. I don't know his last name guy. But I've got his card. So brand yourself, okay? And however, you're Vic with Country Inn and Suites. So every time you meet someone, I'm Vic with Country Inn and Suites. I'm Vic with, you can say I'm Vic Patel. That might be a little long. I just shorten it, real short. So that's the easy part. Now here's where we're going to get into the 2 or 3 sentence differentiators, and here's where we're going to need to partner up here. So when you have a differentiator, I'm not selling to the group, okay, I'm teaching, all right? One of my differentiators is we have Wi-Fi calling, okay? So if you have certain phones, like a BlackBerry, for example, and there is a Wi-Fi connection, say at Starbucks, say at your office, say at your home, you're making phone calls for free. That is a differentiator, okay? Now the way I would go about saying that, hey, I'm Steve with T-Mobile. At T-Mobile, we have Wi-Fi calling, 1 sentence. Your differentiator is not going to be more than 3 sentences or you've lost the group, okay? No more than 3. I'm Steve with T-Mobile, and we have Wi-Fi calling. Wi-Fi calling can benefit you because if you have a Wi-Fi connection at your home, business, or anywhere else, your calls are free, 2 sentences. That's all I need to say. I've differentiated myself from my competitors. My competitors don't have that. So that is how to expand your differentiation statement, okay? I'm going to pick on somebody. I'm trying to think, who do I know that I might could get this right? How about you, Krista? Tell me a little bit about your differentiation. Tell me one word that differentiates you.
I would say one word.
Yeah. Integrity, okay. Tell me something from a business value perspective that would differentiate. Do you have another one there? Organization. So you're more organized? Okay. So I'm Krista Cordaway with Living Solutions, and if you have had big issues moving in the past, I can help you alleviate all those. That's 2 sentences. I am the most, or not you per se, it's kind of weird when you do it with other people. I can help your clients alleviate those disasters that they've had in the past because I'm a very organized person. And you have to put your own shtick on it, right? You know your business better than I do, so it sounds awkward when I do it. But does everyone understand how to expand the differentiation statement? Yes? Have I lost anybody? Robert, you still with us? Okay, good. So what I want you to do is we're going to take 2 minutes and just expand your differentiation statement in 2 sentences. Okay? Those 3 things that you wrote down, just expand it. So from 1 word into 2 sentences. If you've already got it in 2 sentences or 3 sentences tops, that's fine. But the exercise we're going to be doing, you're going to need to expand it. Go ahead, take a couple minutes. So now what we're going to do is turn to your partner, and the whole reason for doing this is to get you comfortable. And I will be walking around listening to you. There should be no ums. This is your business. You're talking about your business. There shouldn't be, I'm Steve with, there shouldn't be any of that, right? You know your business, you know your differentiation statement. This is going to be public speaking. You're not going to be standing up in front of this room, but you will be standing up in front of the group of 20 people. I want you to get comfortable. I want you to, for example, Gloria, I want you to say to him your name, your company, brand yourself, and then say one differentiation statement, okay? And then after that, pause a couple of seconds, go into your second differentiation. Brand yourself. Again, always brand yourself. I'm Gloria, da-da-da-da, differentiation statement. Couple seconds, pause, do it again. This is just to get comfortable with you saying your differentiation statement and how it sounds. How you wrote it down, I know because I do this, how you write it down sometimes doesn't look right when you speak it, okay? This is a great place to try it, so if you screw it up, it doesn't matter, okay? Go ahead, we're going to take a couple minutes. I'm going to be walking around listening to you, so turn and face your partner, and I want you to say, brand yourself, say your differentiation statement, and once one person gets done, go ahead and go into the second person, okay? So let me explain something about the group dynamics that I failed to explain earlier, and this is my bad. As a teacher, I should have related to you better. When you go into the group, you're going to have the networking in the beginning, right? Then when you start the group setting, everybody's going to sit down. Now, typically, you start off the group by saying, here's whoever organized the group will stand up and say, hey, this is welcome to, what are we going to call this? San Marcos Business Exchange, SMBX, okay? This is our weekly group. We meet here at 11 o'clock every day. If you want to become, or every Wednesday, if you want to become a member, show up 3 times and then you're a member, okay? Now, people are going to stand up and they'll say, would you like to start your 60-second introduction? What you would do then is you stand up, hey, I'm Barbara, blah, 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 differentiation, you go into the referrals. This is the portion that we're working on right now, your intro. The reason we're working on your intro is, for a lot of people, this is going to be not only their first contact with you, but their only contact with you for several months. If there's 20 people in there, you can't meet all 20 of them in 1 week. It's just, you don't have time for that. You can meet them over 3 or 4 months. You can take them out for coffee. You can go golfing. I went and worked out with a client today. That's a great way to meet someone who's in your group. So keep it creative, but also you want to make sure that you have your differentiation statement down so that you can ask for a referral. Now, if you're in a group where the attention is waning and you have to stand up and give your 60-second and the last 10 people have just been boring, I will say, hi, I'm Steve Husky. I have almost died 3 times. Now I'm with T-Mobile. And you've almost, what? You've almost died, and that's a true story. I have almost died 3 times. But it gets your attention, didn't it? Everybody's eyes focused on me when I said something like that. Another way you can do it is a dramatic pause. Dramatic pauses work great in large groups. Hey, I'm Steve Husky. Yeah, you looked at me, didn't you? Everybody will eventually, is he looking at me? Is he calling on me? And so a dramatic pause will work also well to get the focus on me. Hey, I'm Steve Husky, dramatic pause. Now I'm with T-Mobile. So those are a couple things you can do to get attention, okay? And this is your only opportunity to get a specific referral in the minds of these people's mental Rolodex that's spinning, okay? So you've differentiated yourself. Now what you want to do is ask for a referral twice. Jim, what's a good referral for you? Who's your last client? Okay, so a good referral for you is Universal Bookbinders. If you were looking to meet everyone in this room knows who Thermon is. Anyone not know who Thermon is? Okay, so one of the things that I did in my group is I said, I would like to meet the owner of Thermon. His name is Dick Burdick. Of course, go on the web, do your research. Anybody in here know the owner of Thermon? I went for coffee with Dick 2 days later because someone in the group ate barbecue with Dick. Be specific. Don't be afraid to ask for the referral. Don't be afraid to say, I need to meet a CFO at Universal Bookbindings. So if you know the CFO of Universal Bookbindings and can introduce me over coffee, please do so. I've emailed him, I've called him, but I need to get a meeting with the guy. If you know the CEO of Universal Bookbindings, will you please send him my way? That's easy, right? Wasn't that easy? And now everybody knows exactly who you're looking for. If you go to this networking group 45 times that year, right, 52 weeks, but there's going to be a couple weeks you can't go, 45 times, you can ask for 45 different companies. 9 times out of 10, when I ask for a specific company, like, and I have done this before, hey, I need to meet Terry Jester. Does anybody know Terry Jester? He is the owner of Terry Jester and Associates, and that's who I need to meet. Well, if someone in the room happens to work for Terry Jester, that's not a good referral, okay? Because now you're selling her, and she feels like she has to go take a shower, okay? But if no one in the room works for Terry Jester and you need to meet him, that's a great, great referral in front of the group. I need to meet Terry Jester. Someone in here is going to know who Terry Jester is, and if you don't, you know someone who works for Terry Jester, because San Marcos is that kind of town. Is everybody with me on this?
How are you asking for the referral twice?
Mm-hmm. So here's how that would sound in your space. I'm Steve with T-Mobile. A good referral for me is a commercial realtor. Commercial realtors are typically outside of the office quite a bit. The commercial realtor I'm looking, notice I said commercial realtor 2 or 3 times. The commercial realtor I'm looking for this week is Krista Cordaway. She is the owner of Living Solutions. If you know Krista, I said your name twice, at Living Solutions, I said your company twice, please send her my way, right? I asked for a referral actually 5 times in there. I said commercial realtor 3 times, I said Krista twice. I asked for the same referral, but I just hammered it home. Anyone who was writing has heard Krista or commercial realtor somewhere in there. Does that make sense? So, after your differentiation statement, and the reason we did your differentiation statement was not so you could feel awkward, it's so you could hear how it sounds. When I write down my differentiation statement, and I try and say, hey, I'm Steve with Wi-Fi? No, that doesn't. I need to. It looks different on paper than it's going to sound in person. You want it to roll off the tongue, right? You're a business advisor. You want this group to perceive you as a business advisor, not as a sleazy sales guy or a business owner who just needs some help. You're a business advisor, and we're all business advisors in here. We're all professionals. We all know our business. You know your business better than I know your business, so you'd be a good business advisor for me. So speak like you know your business. Let it roll off the tongue. Ask for the referrals. You okay? You with me? Yeah? That's you. You? No. Yes. You with me? Okay, good. Okay. Very good. Very good. So we've asked for the referral twice. Close with the name and the company. Hey, I'm Steve Husky with T-Mobile. A good referral for me is an AC shop. Anyone who repairs AC, they're going to have a mobile repair service. They're going to have cell phones. Most of my competitors have push-to-talk. I have voice-to-talk. And here's actually something. If you have a little demo that you can do in 5 seconds, do it. This phone is pretty cool. It has voice-to-talk. So sometimes I will demonstrate that. Call Krista. Do you mean Krista Cordaway? Yes. And it calls Krista. That's cool for an AC guy. And if you can demonstrate that in front of the group during your 60-second commercial, bam, you just became memorable. Huge memorable. So if you get an opportunity to demonstrate something a little bit about your product service, I know probably with marketing, I don't know if you could do that. Go ahead and do it. Steve Husky, 2 or 3 sentence differentiator. I asked for the referral. So if you know a person who works for an AC guy, send them my way. I'm Steve Husky with T-Mobile. Have I lost anybody there? Look, what I've been talking about right here is really lecturish and it's really boring. I know it is. But this is the only chance you get to ask for the referral. And that's why you're in the group, right? Aren't you in the group to get business, Robert? Isn't that why you joined the group? Aren't you in the group to get business, David? You joined a group to get business. The only chance you have to ask for business from these people who want to help you grow your business is a 60-second commercial. So as boring as it is, it's an important part. Now here is something that's really interesting. This is called the trust curve. Actually, I find this interesting. You guys might be bored. Trust curve. There is a definitive curve of trust. If you go to a meeting and you're a florist, people will probably trust you after the 3rd or 4th meeting. Yeah, I can get flowers for Mother's Day from the florist. Sure. We'll do business together. It'll be a good way to lead in. However, if you, that doesn't work. My writing is brutal. If you are a 401k provider, and I have a $750,000 401k plan. First off, why am I working if I have a $750,000 401k plan? But second off, am I going to trust you? I just met you 3 meetings ago, David, and you're a 401k guy. Am I going to trust you giving you that 401k plan, $750,000? Wrong. It's not going to happen. So this is the trust curve. and it works. I don't know why it works, but it does. I'm sorry, my writing is so bad. Now, you'll notice along here is trust. We're going to put this on a scale of 0 to 10, okay? You having a hard time reading that? You okay? Okay, time, attendance. Trust curve looks like that, all right? Everybody's seen a curve like this. We've all been in calculus and that kind of boring stuff. This is going to be less boring than that, I assure you. If you're a florist and you want to get a bunch of referrals, you might have to go 3 meetings. We'll call this 3 meetings, okay? And yeah, you can get a referral after 3 meetings, right? Let's say that you go 10 meetings and you might get 4 or 5 referrals. You might have met someone who works for a funeral home. You might have met someone who's a wedding planner. Hey, now you've got a lot of referrals coming in, right? If you are a banker, bankers are kind of weird. But if you are a banker and people trust you, bankers are weird because, let me rephrase that. They may trust you, but if they don't like you, they're not going to give you their money. Bankers are strange like that. Whereas with me, they only have to kind of quasi-like me because they know who T-Mobile is, right? There's a quasi-relationship there. And you're not going to get along with everybody in the group. But bankers, you got to get along with the people or they're just not going to give you your money. I don't know why that is. Now, for a banker, this might be 1 year. I know a financial advisor that took 5 years to get 1 referral from a group. And once he had his 5-year anniversary, and this group is pretty structured, he got his 5-year pin at a CPA group. He's a financial advisor with Edward Jones. He got over, what did he say, 4 referrals a month for the next year? That's ridiculous. 4 referrals a month for the next year. He doubled his business just from that group. But he was in the group 5 years before he got there, okay? So this point may be 5 years before you can get 3 or 4 referrals. It depends on your industry. In a hotel, I'd be willing to bet you could probably get to this point where you're getting a couple of referrals a month within about 2 months, okay? With a commercial realtor, you could probably get to this point where you're getting a couple of referrals a month, probably about the same time, probably 2 to 3 months. A marketer, CTMC. See, a name like CTMC, Tabitha here works for CTMC. You have the credibility behind you. So you're automatically going to have a little bit more trust to start with, right? So to get here will probably only take you a month if you do it right. And we're about to, you all saw me throwing around that racquetball. We're about to learn how to do it right. So this is referrals. The more referrals that you get, that's a 10. I know my writing's atrocious. The more referrals you get is directly related to trust. Now you'll notice this says time and attendance. Here's why. Does everyone know who Habitat for Humanity is? Anyone know who Bobcat Build is? Okay. And like the example I gave you earlier, if you're sitting there and you are hammering in some nails into a frame and you happen to be sitting there with old man McCoy, well, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get to know him over that next 6 hours. So that's where the time aspect comes in. You might be able to get referrals from him after just spending 6 hours with him, right? Versus attendance with a group 6 hours, that's 4 meetings. Does everybody understand this concept? This concept is central to what we're about to do, okay? Now I need for you all to do something. I need for you all to make sure that your glasses are not spillable, because I have had times where glasses will spill. Yeah, drink it would be awesome. Drink it if you got it. Too bad it's not JD, right? Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry, you got that on camera, didn't you? Now, we're going to let these sit here, okay?
I can throw them.
That's okay, we're going to let them sit here. These represent a lead. Oh, Vic, come on now. Now's not the time to leave. This represents a lead, okay? When I give it to you, or referral, when I give it to you, do not give it away. Hold on to it. It's an easy rule, right? Don't give it away. Now, these are going to represent the leads that I pay forward in just an average week, okay? So I know someone who's looking for a job, and I thought that you might be able to help them. So I had a lead for you. Thank you very much. And you know what? I know a new business is moving into town. I've got a lead for you, Robert. I thought that the chamber might be a good place for them to start, okay? You are an electrician. I know a business that is opening up, and I heard the commercial realtor just dogging his electrician the other day. This guy's upcharging him and upselling him. You might be able to come in mid-job and start over. You interested in that?
Definitely.
Absolutely you are. And you know what? I know a girl who's getting married, and she's looking for some cosmetic. Can you catch, Tricia? Okay, good. That's a pretty far throw. I don't know. I haven't hit anyone in the nose yet. Now, I'm going to go a little bit quicker with these. The next week, I had a lead for you. You're a staffing agency. And I called a guy. He had to cancel an appointment with me. Hold on to that. He had to cancel an appointment with me because he said, you know what? My temp didn't show up today. Oddly enough, there's a staffing agency in my group. And here's how that referral sounds. Sir, I eat breakfast with a staffing agency every week. Her name is Reagan Chastain. Would that be a referral that might make your day a little easier? I know her and I trust her pretty well. That's easy. She's going to close that business 90% of the time. I had 2 leads for you, as a matter of fact. And you know what? I don't know what it is you do. I do, but for this example, and hold on to that. I don't know what it is you do, but I had one for you too. Now, that's 2 weeks worth of referrals and leads passed around, okay? Now I have a couple more for you. Man, we do a lot of business. I don't know what you do, but we do a lot of business. And we had a couple extra leads for you as well. You know what, Robert? There was another business moving in town. I had a lead for you. And Jim, I don't know what you do, but I had a lead for you too, okay? So I have given out these leads over about 6 to 8 weeks. Hey, Vic, I know someone who needs a hotel for graduation. I was saving that for you. Hold on to that. Hold on to that. Go ahead and sit down. So I know a lot of people, and we gave these leads out over about 6 to 8 weeks, okay? So during the group, when I give these out, there's always a time at the end of the group where someone's going to stand up. It's at the end of the meeting typically where there's a testimonial time. I would like to thank Tricia. She handled my sister's wedding, their whole wedding party, outfitted them all with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And I really appreciate that, Tricia. Thank you very much. Tricia's great to work with. I highly recommend Tricia for anybody. That's how a testimonial sounds. Even though I don't think I've ever given one for cosmetics. That's how a testimonial sounds. So, can anybody tell me what game we have just played here? We have played Pay It Forward, that's good. We've played a game of Hoard. This is a game of Hoard. None of you gave out any leads to anybody else. I gave you everything I had. You didn't give out anything to anybody. How many leads you get? You got a lead from me? You got